This is Sid Roth saying, I have a vision. Now is the set time to blow the trumpet in Zion.
Blow a trumpet in Zion, sound it on the mountains. Blow a trumpet in Zion, for the day of the Lord is come.
Shalom, Mishpacha. Shalom, family. Mishpacha is a Hebrew word, and that's what it means, family. We're the Mishpacha, the family with a Jewish heart, made up of Jewish and non-Jewish people that are one new man in Messiah, getting ready, Mishpacha, to blow the grandest shofar, the grandest trumpet in Zion. We want everyone, everywhere, to hear the good news. We want everyone, everywhere, to be red hot for the Messiah. And I have commanded you to yield to the Spirit of God. God's going to use you in such a spectacular fashion if you will yield to Him. Oh God, I pray in Yeshua's name that the river that you have inside of me, I believe it's a double river, as I spoke of in the book of Ezekiel, the 47th chapter in the Amplified, on yesterday's broadcast in the 9th verse. It says, wherever the double river shall go, every living creature which swarms shall live. Wherever you go, oh God, open yourself up to the Spirit of God right now. In Yeshua's name, in Jesus' special name, the name that every knee must bow, the name that every tongue must confess, the name that is above every name, the name of Yeshua. Cancer cannot live wherever the double river goes. Arthritis and hip problems cannot live. Blood problems, hate, you cannot live wherever that double river goes. Back pains, you can't live. Liver problems, diabetes, you can't live. Ulcers, all sorts of digestive problems. You can't live wherever that river goes. And what will they be doing in heaven? You see, if you watch what they're doing in heaven, it's going to happen on earth. It's actually, as I've been explaining all this week, it's already happened. God's reported. This is what God says in Revelation chapter 15, the 3rd verse. What will they be singing in heaven? They sang the song of Moses, the servant of God. That's the Jewish people singing the Jewish songs. And the song of the Lamb. That's the Gentiles singing about the song of the Lamb. And that double river is Jew and Gentile. No wall of partition between us. One new man in the Messiah. And God gave me a revelation that I've never even thought about before. But in the book of Revelations, He talks about, and you're familiar with it, the 2 Endtime Witnesses. And there have been many theories as to who they are, Moses and Elijah. But try this. I believe the 2 end-time witnesses that no man is going to be able to stop because they're going to have such power to be witnesses are the Jew and the Gentile, arm in arm, running the last lap of the victory, the champion of all of the people that God has on the face of this earth. He reached down on this day, Purim, thousands of years ago, in the book of Esther, to a woman that could never be grafted into royalty. After all, there already was a queen. But God says, all things are possible if you'll believe I've already done this. And He reached down to Esther and He made her queen of the land. And what if these two witnesses were the Jew and the Gentile running the last lap, because God saves his champion for the last lap, because if you've seen relay races, maybe you're a little behind, and the church looks like it's a little behind, and maybe they laugh and mock believers in the Messiah on television, and the world laughs and jokes, but these two are going to come together, Jew and Gentile, holding that baton. After all, in the book of Ezekiel, God says when that outpouring occurs on Jewish people, when the breath of God blows on those dry bones and Jewish people are grafted back into the olive tree, the natural branch is grafted in, it says that the two sticks will be merged. This is what it says in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, verse 16 through 18, the two sticks, the Jew and the Gentile. In the natural, it's going to be the Jews and the lost tribes of Israel. God's maintained us as distinct people coming back together and becoming one. But first the natural, then the spiritual will be Jews and Christians merging into one new man. Can you picture the two of us running that last lap? God's champion, and it looks like we've lost the race. It's been a relay race, and we've gotten very, very tired for the last 2,000 years. The Gentiles carrying the torch that originally the Jewish people carried. But it's time now not to turn the torch over to the Jewish people. It's time now to merge into the Jewish people. So there's one new man. Wait, I don't see two men running with that one stick together. No, there's not two men anymore. It's one new man. It's the Jew. It's the King of the Jews. It's Yeshua, the Messiah, and this is God's champion, and he's running laps around the other people. I mean, it's if the other people in the relay race, because this is the last lap, it's as if those other people, they're just standing still, stand still and watch the salvation of God. And wherever this river goes, life is going to come. It's a double river. And these two witnesses, raised up for the last days, God says in the 11th chapter of Revelation, I'm going to give them power to witness, and there's going to come fire out of their mouth. There's going to be so much glory. You better watch out if you say something against one of these one new men, Jews and Gentiles, arm in arm, running that one lap together, new creations in the Messiah, because everything you say will come back. Just like in the Passover, when Moses went to Pharaoh, what happened? Every time there was a new curse coming on the people of the world. Every time Pharaoh tried to hurt the Jewish people, every time Pharaoh tries to hurt the church, Pharaoh didn't even realize it because he kept doing it. He must not have realized it, but he kept having curse after curse. And you read Revelation's 11th chapter, and you'll see that these two witnesses will have the power to shut the heavens so that no rain falls in the days of their prophesying, and they're going to have power over waters to turn them to blood and to strike the earth with all plagues. Doesn't that sound just like Moses? And when they finish, the world will think they're dead. But there'll be a giant shofar that you'll hear, it'll reverberate, and the dead in Messiah will come to life. And you read about it, they're going to die in a place called Sodom in Egypt. You got a better description for what's going on in the world today? But death will not be able to contain them, because the breath of life from God is going to enter them, and they're going to stand up on their feet, and they're going to be raptured. Oh, it's all there, mishpacha. But to whom much is given, much is required. And I've been explaining this week, as you're listening to me, I'm involved in Jewish evangelism in Ukraine. I'm doing a Purim outreach that is going to dramatically affect an area that is turning, the former Soviet Union is turning so anti-Semitic so quickly, and it will even happen in the United States of America. But God wants to raise up His glorious church as that end-time champion to run the last lap, to win the race. So you stop feeling sorry for yourself and recognize that everything that's happened in your life is for a purpose, to equip you, to prepare you for such a time as this. Now, I am unashamedly saying we need large sums of money. We have the tools. We need partners. Now, if there's ever been a time to send a Purim offering to Messianic Vision, and I can't remember the last time I've talked about money, but I'm robbing you because God's given us the tools. We don't owe money to anyone. God is so good. I'm not asking for you to give money to pay past radio bills or something. God has blessed us. But now that we have the tools, the television show, the book in 6 different languages, the latest one now is Hebrew. Now that we have these tools, we've got to run and run quickly, especially in the former Soviet Union. Will you write a tax-deductible check and be part of the greatest outreach? It's not just reaching Jewish people. Understand this. Salvation is of the Jew. It's a seed that's going to affect the whole world. When you reach out to the Jewish people, then these Jewish people will be grafted into the church and become that one new man to run the last lap, and the double outpouring, the former rain and the latter rain of God's Spirit is going to come on this earth. And don't forget, order our new catalog. It will allow you the best materials we've had over the years. The materials that you said, oh, I wish I had ordered that. What we consider the finest materials, books and videos and cassettes of walking in the power of God, walking in the healing of God, walking in the supernatural peace of God, understanding end-time prophecy, equipping the one new man. The best tools we have are in our brand new catalog. I want to get it in your hands. It's free. Would you call or write today? I'm not going to use that cliche, send the biggest gift you can give. Plant a seed to reach the Jew, to reach the world. This is the Shabbat broadcast. It's also Purim. I pray that the Lord bless you and keep you. That the Lord cause His countenance. Now you receive, there's a supernatural blessing. The Lord cause His countenance to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord grant you His shalom, His peace. In the name of the Sar Shalom, the Prince of Peace, Yeshua HaMashiach Tzidkenu, Jesus the Messiah, our righteousness.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom.
If you would like to receive a complimentary copy of our bi-monthly teaching newsletter, cassette catalog, or information about becoming Mishpocha, write to me, Sid Roth, Post Office Box 1918, Brunswick, Georgia 31521. Or call our order-only line, 1-800-548-1918. To place a credit card order, call anytime, 1-800-548-1918. For all other calls, the number is 912-265-2500. That's 912-265-2500. For a cassette tape of this week's broadcast, send $5 to Sid Roth, Post Office Box 1918, Brunswick, Georgia 31521. Look us up on the web, www.sidroth.org. That's www.sidroth.org.